fast, fatal thought impact. Past painful thoughts, in fact, I blast tasteful thoughts and past. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now. Whenever we last left off with this series, quite a number of things have happened. Now, in the last part, we had Deku and Emilia. Deku, he thought that something was very strange. He has a coworker who he cannot read their minds, and they have been investigating him. Now, Deku didn't think of anything at first. He thought this man may have just been, well, a cybernetic, or may have had augmentations to prevent this. However, when he brought this up to Emilia, she started to panic and freak out. She thought that this might be somebody who was after her. Somebody who was one of the members of the alien species who caused the war that destroyed her planet. Now, Deku, he was a bit concerned. He was able to calm Emilia down and try to talk to her about this. However, now that thought has been put into his head, and he's a bit more on edge around this person. Now, with that, we do also at least have where Deku, he's still waiting about the comatose patient to wake up. This person is the only leads he knows of to the gang that kidnapped Emilia. And whenever this person wakes up, he can at least make it public the information he knows. Now, with that being said, we do have roughly about, I do want to say, 1 to a month and a half later, where Deku, he's at least gotten the phone call, finally, from his boss. His boss was very surprised. Apparently Deku, he found a lead. Through looking into illegal activity connected to not only this person, but even some other members of the gang that they found, they were able to connect some dots. Or at least Deku presumably was able to. Now, it wasn't very hard. Deku, he was able to make up a story about cross-referencing their criminal records, and finding not only have they been connected to the same incidents, but even ones that are very similar. And he was able to get away with that explanation. Now, we do at least have where the man who was taken down to the station and even put into protective custody. And Deku, he was very happy about this. As we do have today where Deku is going to wake up, and he's going to leave. Now, Deku, he does go to open his eyes. As whenever he does so, you do actually have where he does go to roll over, and find that whenever he does try to, Emilia, she's currently clinging to his back. And Deku, he does go to bring his hands up to grab onto Emilia's arm. Him going to bring his hand up, and someone going to try and shake Emilia awake. Him going to shake her arm and her shoulder as she does talk about how she's still tired. Emilia, we gotta go to work. Let go of me. You're so warm. I'm tired. I don't want you to go. Okay, fine. The bed's still warm though. I gotta go. Now, Deku, he does gotta leave. After he does gotta get up, he does at least go to shower, get dressed, eat something, and then go to leave. And we do actually have Emilia. After Deku does go to leave, she does think about exactly how things have been. Her actually on the verge of sleeping awake as she's thinking about it. Today, apparently, it's, well, supposed to do this thing humans call snow. And she's kind of worried about it. She's never heard of this phenomenon. Yes, her planet has had things called rain. Very similar, in fact, but never snow. She's sort of off-put by it. Yes, the atmospheric conditions to Earth and her planet were similar, but, well, snow, whatever that is, it's nothing she's heard of before. Now, we do have Deku, who he does head to work. And after at least going through the day a bit more, and meeting with that same detective that he is very skeptical of, he does talk to the person in question. And things they do go a bit more the way you expect. The man, he does give them evidence. And he does even give the fabricated story Deku gave the man in his memories to the police. Now, Deku, he does at least go to listen to the story. Him and the other detective hearing about it, as Deku and him, they do start to at least talk about it. Yes, this man is a witness to exactly the crimes. And the detective, he wants to go after this man immediately. However, there is Deku, who he does talk about the possibility of freak involvement. And the man, he is actually very confused, as Deku does talk about how the gang in this area, they at least do have suspicions to believe that the leader of it is a freak. So, who's to say he hasn't hired another freak to take care of his own dirty work? Now, the man who's being interviewed, he does directly look at Deku, as he is going to swear on his own life that this account is all true. He remembers booking it, he remembers running, he remembers being shot at, and, well, you know, almost taking a bullet before he just slams into something. And Deku does directly stare at the man. As the other detective, they do look at Deku's facial expression. Deku is going to turn and look at this guy with a bit of, well, anger. As the detective, they do go to jot that down a bit in their own memory. Now, with that being said, we do have where the man, he's put into protective custody. And, well, the person who they're looking after now, or they're looking for now, they're currently being at least investigated, seeing if they can find any solid proof as to exactly what this person may be involved with. While their rank as detectives would allow them to technically arrest this person, there's the fact that there's no solid evidence, and they don't know if this man does have an alibi. While they could go after him immediately, investigating it quietly would be their best option, because it means that this person, they would not be able to hide anything before they make it known that, yes, they're aware of his involvement in said case. And while normal police officers, they may have to at least go forwards and at least be public with this information, as the detectives, they can be more private. And they can actually do things that would normally be a little bit below the law, or outside of the range of law enforcement. Now, with that being said, we do have where Deku and, well, everybody, they do leave for the day. As whenever Deku does get back to his apartment, we do actually have Amelia, who she was actually sitting down and looking over a bit of information, as she did go to give a status report to her people, and whenever Deku did walk through the door, you did have where she did go to end the transmission, as Deku does go to turn directly to look at her and see her in her alien form. Now, Deku, he directly goes to step to the side and close the door, very quickly, as does telepathically ask Amelia exactly what is she doing. I'm, well, finishing up a report I just sent it to my people. No, I mean, you're, well, I'm what? Sorry. You know how I get. I understand your concern. However, I made sure that the blinds or the window was blacked out before I activated or deactivated my disguise. So, I believe that I am secure. I understand that. However, what about your invisibility watch? Yes, yes, I understand that. I've been meaning to look into certain things. And, well, maybe I may look into something else. Something else? What do you mean, Amelia? Well, I've been looking into our tech division a bit, and I found that, well, some of us who are not on the planet have been researching more and more advanced, stealth technology to appear human. There's a bit of a delay, you could say. It's taken some time, but I believe that it's more advanced than my current stealth technology. Really? Yes, I do believe so. And I wanted to look into it a bit more. Because instead of it being more like a wristband, it seems like they'd be more like, as humans would call them, earrings? Oh, that does make sense. Really? Yeah. Well, what is it? I wanted to ask about that thing you saw recently. Hmm? What was it? Well, I know it's supposed to snow soon, but the clouds aren't supposed to roll on for a bit of time. So, did you want to, well, go out somewhere? Now, Amelia just stared at Deku, and she just someone going to smile before going to leap up and talk about how she's going to get dressed immediately. As she's going to run into the room. And Deku, he just going to turn and stare at the direction she ran into. It's almost funny in a way. Deku's one cracking a smile. As after Amelia does come running back out, the two of them, they do go to leave. And Amelia does go over a lot of things that she was seeing recently. Oh, she wants to check out this location, this location, and this location. Even this one here. And Deku, he does talk about how they can't visit this one currently, but he does know that this one, they're at least open tonight. Now, the two, they would go out. And after visiting, well, let's just say in the best terms, something historic like a museum, they do look at a lot of things. And Amelia, she's having quite a lot of fun. Now, Deku, he has informed her though. When they do get inside, they'll be making a psychic connection. And he'll answer as many questions as he can about anything she does see. Because she just asks questions about everything that people do have common knowledge of, it would look very weird. Along with that, he does know how the way she would react. Now, Amelia, she does go to agree. And immediately, she is blown away by it. Looking at many, many things that she doesn't even understand. And Deku, he himself does try to give an understanding from what he would know about the subjects. Amelia does see many things there. And it does just completely surprise her. Now, we do actually have where after about 2 or 3 hours, both of them they do leave. And right now, Deku, he does take Amelia to a nearby place that, well, it would be a bit easier to go to. Now, the two of them they did go to leave the museum and head somewhere else, as both of them are currently walking around at a park, both with something hot to drink. And Deku is at least expressing to Amelia many things about what she did see earlier today. And she is at least going to make mental notes and even record a few things that she's hearing. And Deku, he does continue on, expressing that, oh yeah, this fossil here was named something like this one, because of what he did see on the mantle. And there even is this one here, which was a, well, large reptile or, well, something like that, with very, very stubby arms. Deku bringing his hands up and going to make a gesture, as he's going to imitate the way the monster did go to look. And Amelia is going to somewhat bring her hand up to cover her mouth, her laughing quite a bit. Now, Deku, he does even mention many other things he did see tonight. And Amelia herself, she's actually quite, well, enjoying the night. And we do actually have where Deku and Amelia, they do go to sit down. As whenever they do both go to look up, you do have what they do see. Amelia, she's going to look up. And she can tell just from looking at the moon tonight that there are many things going on. It seems to be quite weird. This planet here on Earth, or the planet that they call Earth, It's a very, very small little place, a small blue marble in the universe, a place that makes her home seem so foreign to her, a place where she can find, well, a companion, a place where she can find a friend, and a place where she can look at many things and even gain new experiences. Everything tonight was so bizarre, strange, and fantastical. But to Deku, they seemed almost normal to him. Yes, he was learning new things tonight. And even he did express his own thoughts on certain things that he's never seen before. It seemed so strange. She thought that Deku knew everything about this planet. But there's things outside of his own knowledge. And with that fact, she just doesn't know how to feel about it. What was it? He explained the whole sports concept to her superior. But this information, actual, well, information that could look into their past as a civilization, it seems crazy. Amelia and Deku looking up towards the sky, which does have the clouds start to roll in. And Amelia is going to express that if he does go to look at these constellations here, or the stars that do connect, she's actually looked into what his species does know about the stars. And they do have what she believes that they do refer to as constellations. Hmm? Yeah, it's a pattern we do see with the stars. I mean, look up there. Hmm? Where? Right where I'm pointing. Do you see the three that do connect? Uh, yes, I believe so. That is what we call Orion's belt. You see how it does go straight across? Uh, yes, I do. But why do you give it that name? I don't really know. I just know what they're called. Hmm? Yes. But if I do believe that correctly, that those three stars, or, well, galaxies, I think I know exactly where those are. Hmm? Do you? Yes, I believe that I've traversed those before, or at least flown past them before. Deku going to turn towards Amelia, him looking a bit more surprised, as he's going to point out that, okay, then what about these ones over here? Hmm? Um, hmm, those ones do look very similar. What was the name of them again? Um, I believe that that's the Big Dipper. Really? Yeah, I mean, we call it the Big Dipper because it's, well, the way you can connect the dots and the way they'd be shaped. It looked like a device that could be used to hold a item that you can, well, drain onto another item or dip onto it. Oh, yeah. Even I'm kind of confused about the name of that one, but I mean, look at these ones over here. Deku pointing out a few more. And you do actually have where Amanda's going to point out another star. Her expressing that she does believe that that one is star number, and she's going to start listing a few things off. And Deku does go to start hearing her rant. Her expressing that she does know this knowledge of this star. And Deku does get to point out another star. Him asking about that one. And she's going to start to explain a bit of things before Deku does hear her say something that is very strange. Him turning towards her and going to open his mouth. Okay, there's no way. What do you mean? There's no way that that could be right. I mean, come on. That one's got to be, what, a few light years away? Maybe? Somewhere around there. Okay, but still, you can't be serious with that. I mean, it's got to be, what, 50, 90, 100? Um, about halfway there. How about 150 then? No, 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 not quite that close. Okay, fine. 180. Nope. Okay, fine. Let's make a bet. How about you try and tell me at least a vague idea? Hmm? Oh, I believe I know this human concept. Would you like me to start between 190 or 220? Okay, that's not good. How about we start it within a bit more even odds? Even, okay, how about 195 to 215? Okay, that's not really what I meant. Okay, what did you mean then? Okay, how about at least and the number 10? It means that I do have at least a 10% chance of picking the correct number. Okay. So, 205 to 215. Which one do you think it is? Before you do guess, how about we do put a human wager on this? Hmm? Human wager? Yes. I'm very curious. What do you want if you pick the right number? I'll give you anything you do desire. Anything I desire? Yes. Huh. What do I desire? Deku looking at Amelia. Her face does look a little purple. And he does just stare at her. She's wearing the same human disguise. And it's just odd to him. Okay, she's not human, remember that. Come on, why do you keep forgetting that? Now, Deku just try to think. We do actually have Amelia who is currently at least going to stoop a little on his thoughts. She does at least hear that one thought. She isn't human, remember that. Now, Amelia, she wanted to get a little bit mad. However, there was where we should at least continue to stoop on Deku's thoughts a little bit. And Deku, he does try to think. What does he want if he wins, though? The first thing that popped into his mind, it did surprise Amelia. And you actually were Amelia, she's going to at least offer something that if he does lose, then he does have to do this certain thing. And Deku does stare at Amelia as he does, at least does try to think about a, well, reward that does fit the punishment. Now, we do actually have Amelia who does go to somewhat cut herself off. As Deku is currently at least thinking in private about what his reward should be if he does win this little gamble. Okay, let's see. Deku looking at Amelia. Okay, so he does have a good idea. Amelia, what is it? How about this? If I win our little gamble, then you have to take me to a nice place. Take you to a nice place on Earth? I don't know many places. No. I mean out there. Deku's staring up, talking about how the stars are always so beautiful. He's always had the idea that one day he can fly through them. And maybe one day he can traverse them. He can be a traveler among the stars. And if he doesn't even have to say it, there was the idea that one day he may be able to go to Mars. Be able to get transferred as a detective over there. He does know that it sounds like a very skeptical dream. A ticket to Mars is a very expensive ticket. And the trip there, it does take a few months. However, from what he does here, it is well worth it. Especially because of what they've done to the place. That is what you want? Yeah. So, what do you want if I lose? What do I want? Yeah. I mean, a trip to space. Name your price. Now, Amaya should just stare at Deku. What does she want? Something that does befit a trip to space? To Deku, this sounds like a big deal. To her, this just sounds like something that's so mundane that she's used to. Hell, she remembers as a child the first time she went to space. And that was so, well, amazing and phenomenal. But then there was the time. It wore off. Eventually, the idea of literally living on an alien planet, she was over it. Anytime she went to space, she felt just annoyed and, well, distracted. Yes, the stars are beautiful, but it's no different from what she would see on her home planet. Even the, well, atmosphere that was fake, even at the sky that wasn't real. It does somewhat annoy her. Her going to look towards Deku as she's going to say something that does somewhat surprise him. As she would say that he would have to kiss her whenever she does not appear human. Hmm? Uh, really? Yes, if that does make sense. You would even have to convey, well, romantic feelings the same way my species does. Uh, are you sure? Yes. That is my terms to the agreement. If you do not like it, then I do understand. Especially here. I know that this place would be a risky place to do it. And, well, I do like appearing this way, but I do understand your frustrations with me. Or not me, but Amelia. Now, Deku just looked directly at Amelia. As I started to think, Amelia was the name of the alien, not the name of her disguise. It was a name that he could tell her and say to her. It was her name, not the, well, illusion she puts on. Now, take a to think. As we do have where he does go to start thinking a few numbers. And Amelia, she is trying to monitor him a bit closely. As Deku, he does go to look up and see a number that he does take as a shot in the dark. Okay, so 2 what? 05 and 215. If he's correct, it's got to be at least what? 210 maybe? Something like that. No, but wait. Okay, let's see. Takucho's trying to wonder. We do actually have Amelia, who she is staring at Deku, and she is waiting with a bit of anticipation. We do for Deku does try and think the number, and look towards Amelia. He does try to make it a bit subtle. He looks at her through the, well, the edges of his vision, and she just stare at him. The moment Deku is going to think a number, he does look at the way she does react. As you do have Deku out loud, he does going to say a number he skipped over, or one that he did at least feel was a bit more accurate. He saw the way that Amelia was reacting. He started to count the numbers. And whenever he went to that one, Amelia somewhat physically jumped and shivered. And there was actually Deku who he does is going to turn towards Amelia, talking about how he thinks he has the right number. Do you? Are you certain? Yes, I am. Let's see, I want to say that that star or galaxy, whichever it is, now, Deku going to say the incorrect number. As he say that he believes that it's at least 210 miles away, or light years away. And Amelia is going to stare at Deku. He got it wrong. You're wrong. Shit. Okay, am I? Yes. We were very close, though. It was, well, her going to say the actual number, expressing to Deku that he was actually almost very accurate, wondering how exactly he may have done that. However, you do actually have where she is going to at least look at Deku, realizing that right now she has won. And we do actually have where she's going to turn her head and look around, her wondering if anyone is nearby. As she's going to at least look towards Deku, talking about how it does seem like she does need to claim her prize. Hmm? Here? Yes. I would like to, well, look around a bit more. See how things are in this form. My actual body, if you don't want to put it that way. No illusions. I want to be outside. Are you sure, Amelia? Yes, I'm very certain. And I do hope that you do understand. Now, Amelia's just going to do one thing. She's going to bring her hands up and going to pull over her hood. As she's going to bring her hand up to her watch and press a button. As her hands, they do return back to normal. We do actually have where Amelia's going to directly jump onto Deku's lap and go to at least look right at him, asking if he is ready for this. Now, Deku just stared at Amelia. Ash just starts leaning forwards towards him, and Deku is just going to someone to look at her before he's going to lean in himself. And he is going to kiss Amelia, the real one. And it does seem kind of strange. It feels almost different. A sense of comfort and familiarity, but it still feels almost off in a way. He doesn't know why. Now, him and Amelia, they are kissing. And we do actually have where Amelia does want to, well, continue. As Deku is going to bring his hands out to her. And he is going to hold on to her. As over Amelia, she is the one to pull away. She's going to bring her hand directly up to her watch. And she's going to turn her head, talking about how that did seem to be very strange. Now, Deku, he does bring his hand up, directly going to grab onto her wrist. Him grabbing the watch before she does have time to press onto it. As Deku is going to grab onto her and then going to pull her in again. As he's going to show love the same way that her species would, or her equivalent to a kiss. Where he does going to bring his hand up and go to push her forehead directly into his own. And she does also sit there silently for a second. And she does try to think, as she's going to close her eyes a bit and try to reach out towards Deku. And Deku does somewhat feel this. Him reaching out for her, as you do actually have the mental connection. Now, Deku is going to start feeling something strange. As both of them, they do get the rush of emotions that do come with this feeling. And you do actually have where Amelia is going to somewhat pull away. As Deku is going to lean in a bit more and kiss her the human way. Now, Amelia is going to somewhat talk about how that did seem to be very, well, different. Did it? Yes, I was very surprised. I'm happy, you could say. I'm glad that this is, well, this is happening. I do not know how I would react on my own planet as well. I'm glad that I have met you, Izuku. Amelia, I mean, come on, it's no big deal. No big deal. You say that. Yet I have a feeling you intentionally got the number wrong. Oh, come on, Amelia, I plead the fifth. You know I could have gotten the number right. Maybe, but I have a feeling that you got it wrong on purpose. You have no proof. Now, Deku and Amelia, they do both sit there. As she's sitting on top of Deku's lap, before something does happen. Something does directly come down towards the ground and land as Deku is going to look up. As Amelia is going to stare up towards the sky and look at the snow as it is pouring down. Now, it is somewhat very strange to her. she was going to bring her hand up to try and reach out for it, as she was going to grab onto a piece of snow as it just directly evaporated onto her hand, and she just stared up at it, asking Deku a bit of questions about this strange substance. And Deku doesn't answer it, as immediately she herself does start to feel a bit more cold. And both of them, after a minute of watching the snow fall, they do go to leave. And we do have, or somebody, they were watching the entire thing. They saw Deku leave the museum. Yes, they were very intrigued as to what Detective Motoya was up to. And yes, they were surprised to find out that he had somebody in his life. And there was another strange interaction. They saw Detective Midoriya at the park when they followed him there. And this is something very, very strange. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day or night, and I'll catch you guys in the next part.